Indiana Avenue is more than just a street in downtown Indianapolis. Its name is synonymous with Madam C.J. Walker, the first female self-made millionaire in America. She built her fortune by brewing hair care products, basing her factory in the heart of Indianapolis. While the area and look of Walker's headquarters have changed, her legacy of innovation, perseverance, and determination lives on.
It's the full circle moment of I grew up filing the beauty supply orders in my dad's office and going to the Walker building with my mother and visiting the factory.
It's been more than a century since Madam C.J. Walker launched her namesake brand, but her impact on the beauty industry remains vast and clear. And now through a partnership with Sundial Brands and Walmart, Madam Walker's great-great-granddaughter, Alelia Bundles, is launching a new line inspired by the original recipe. We sat down with Bundles to discuss her role in carrying on the Walker legacy of Walker's brand. When asked about the timing of the brand's release, she says plans have been in the works for years, but the pandemic played a pivotal role.
As we have been in the pandemic, a lot has changed in the way that we do self-care. So people who were accustomed to going to the beauty shop every 2 weeks couldn't do that anymore. And we began to become familiar with our hair in a way perhaps that many of us had not. And so we were experimenting with products, watching YouTube videos, seeing what worked, things that work in the summer didn't work in the winter. And so I think that we are very open right now to new products and to different ways of thinking.
While Bundles grew up around the hair care business, her passion was education, history, and storytelling. Bundles became an award-winning journalist and author whose nonfiction book inspired the fictional Netflix series Self-Made, which chronicled the life of Madam C.J. Walker. Despite the film being entertaining, Bundles says it got one major thing wrong.
Madam Walker's real story is not the story of the fight with Annie Malone that is portrayed in Self-Made, but it is the story of women who mentored and empowered her, building a business and then turning around and giving Black women economic opportunities and education and helping them create generational wealth.
It's a story that Bundles takes to heart. She credits her family, namely her parents, with teaching her the importance of building up others and giving back to your community. Lessons she still lives by to this day.
My dad was a businessman who also was the founding president of Center for Leadership Development. So many generations of people have gone through that program and remembered my dad. My mother was vice president of the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company, but she was also on the school board. She was also president of the PTA, very involved in politics. So I learned from them the importance of knowing your community and in giving back to your community.
Bundles was recently named the inaugural Center for Africana Studies and Culture Prestigious Fellow in the School of Liberal Arts at IUPUI. The position will allow her to inspire a new generation and facilitate conversations with change makers.
That is really an opportunity for me to bring together a thought leader in Indianapolis, along with someone I have met on a national level in journalism and philanthropy, entrepreneurship, preservation, the topics that I'm really passionate about, and try to create some kind of conversation, which I hope serendipitously may lead into collaboration.
Collaboration that could lead to rejuvenation of what was once the center of Black Indianapolis, the place Madam Walker called her own ground.
As I and others began to think about the development of that last parcel of land in downtown Indianapolis along Indiana Avenue. And we want to make sure that there is something that goes there that references the people who lived there for many generations. We want to make sure that there is a respect for the community that was there, even as we go forward and look for ways to make it economically sustainable.